Greetings to all. Welcome to the Organic Chemistry lecture on hydroxy compound. Before we begin, let's look at some daily applications and the importance of hydroxy compounds in our daily lives. I think most of you will recognize that alcoholic drinks actually are a kind of hydroxy compound, okay, like the ethanol, etc. Okay, it can also be used in medical purposes such as a disinfectant before any surgery or any injections. Okay, alcohols are also very important, okay, in the manufacture of drugs because many drugs actually contain hydroxy functional groups. Okay, and last but not least, in the textile industry, okay, a lot of the polyesters that we use actually begin with hydroxy compounds in their manufacturing process. Okay, so seeing the importance of hydroxy compound, let's take a look at today's lecture. These are some learning objectives of the lecture. We will first begin by looking at the chemistry of alcohols as well as phenol, and we will also look at the acidity, okay, of these different kinds of hydroxy compounds. So let's start off with the introduction to aliphatic alcohols. In general, all alcohol or hydroxy functional groups will have OH group in their molecules, and hydroxy compounds can be separated into two different classes. One is the aliphatic alcohol and two, the phenols. The difference between them is that the aliphatic alcohols have the OH group directly bonded to a alkyl chain, whereas in the phenol, the OH group is directly bonded to the benzene ring. Okay, this is to say that if I have a structure with a benzene and an alkyl followed by an OH group here, this compound will not be classified as a phenol because it is actually directly bonded to a alkyl group. So this example, we actually have a aliphatic alcohol. So looking at the aliphatic alcohol, we can see that there are actually three more classifications: primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol. So how do we tell the type of alcohol that we are seeing? Okay, is we look at the carbon that's directly attached to the OH group. If I have 3 hydrogen or 2 hydrogen attached to the carbon with the OH group, we consider it as a primary alcohol. In fact, this structure over here actually represents methanol. For the secondary alcohol, the carbon directly bonded to the OH group has only 1 hydrogen and 2 R groups. So this kind of alcohol will be secondary alcohol, and tertiary alcohol simply has 3 R groups directly attached to the carbon with the OH group. Now this classification of the primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol will become important when we look at the reactions of alcohol later. Some nomenclature before we begin. Alcohol can be treated as the principal functional group, okay, of the hydrocarbon that we are given. If that is the case, we will put the name in the suffix. So the position of the alcohol group also needs to be indicated, and how many alcohol groups are present will be determined by the term over here: di for 2 hydroxy group, tri for 3 hydroxy group, and tetra for 4 hydroxy group. So some examples over here. The first one, we can see that this is actually an ethanol, where the OH is right at the back, so the suffix nol will be at the back, and because this is 2 carbon, we will name it ethanol. So proper 2-nol, again, the OH here indicates the presence of the hydroxy group, and it's actually on the second carbon of this molecule, and hence 2-nol, and proper 2-nol because total there are 3 carbons here. Similarly, if we see the OH directly bonded to the benzene ring, we can call this group a phenol, and therefore the main group is phenol, and there is a methyl group on the second carbon of the benzene ring, hence 2-methyl-phenol. Last but not least, this is also a phenol group because the OH is directly attached to a benzene ring, and there are 3 other Br attached to it on the 2, 4, 6 position. Hence, the name will be 2,4,6-tribromophenol. And their functional group is actually primary alcohol for ethanol, secondary alcohol for propanol, and phenol for the other 2 compounds that we see over here. Now, we will take some time to try this exercise. The name and the structure of the formula are given. You will just need to identify the classification. Let's do one for example. Let's look at the first example. We can see that the alcohol is over here, and the carbon that's attached to the alcohol actually has 2 hydrogen and 1 R group attached to it, and hence we can call this a primary alcohol. So for the next few examples, please take some time to try them, and I will review the answer to you shortly.